Welcome to BUB-IT.
Yes, the forum for layman's term and the oddities of bigotry with Black Tim
and Plex.
Okay then, prosperity. Today I saw a video of a young boy about the age of 10. He was arrested, yes, actually placed in handcuffs and escorted from his school to the squad car and placed in the fucking back. All this while his concerned mother videoed the incident and followed them out, pleading with the officers to explain what the hell was going on. Her pleas went unanswered. The fact that these pigs didn't even have the humanity to answer the lady's questions as she asked is yet another example of how police have no empathy when it comes to the very people they are supposed to be servicing. Now, this was a little white boy, and still they were treated with little to no respect or humanity. According to the news story, the kid has autism and had a fit in class in which he hit the teacher, leaving marks on her. The little boy was taken home after the initial encounter with the teacher and put on a small suspension. Upon returning to the school, which is the part that fucks me up, he was called into the office where the staff had the police waiting to take him into custody. The mother was then informed and showed up. That's the point at which she started the footage. Now, I've stated before, on record and off, I don't have a problem with teachers defending themselves against verbal abuse or physical abuse from these teenagers that are unnecessarily aggressive towards school staff because they figure no one will touch them, or because they are gangster, or just don't give a fuck. That's different, okay, than a 10-year-old boy with autism crying in front of his mother, pleading and saying he doesn't understand what's going on. First of all, the police are mostly terrorists and bullies, just as much as the street dude who bothers and fucks with people just because he has a name in the neighborhood and he knows people fear him and nobody will do anything about it. Secondly, the teacher and the school staff that made the call are cowards, like most of you fucking crackers that want people hurt or humiliated and call cops, on others because you are too much of a pussy to do the shit yourself. Thirdly, well, it's bad either way it goes, but I will say this. It's weird when I see whites get treated or get the treatment that my people get every day. The only difference is violence wasn't visited upon this woman, this mother, by the cops as she followed and demanded answers. I'm confident the results would have been otherwise had she been a lady of color. First, prosper in our bias. Okay, white America, when there are no blacks involved in the police response, that tyranny will be turned to you. You motherfuckers rally and lobby and enjoy and let the police and promote Donald Trump. And then when there's no niggas or Hispanics to hate on, and you don't fit that social status or that economic class, they show you just how much they don't give a fuck about you, just like they don't give a fuck about nobody else, but you still allow your ignorant bias to placate into scenarios to where you champion the abuse of people of color and those lower economic standing. If you don't wear that uniform, you're not one of them, simply put. Only time you are treated with respect is when they are responding to a call made for people of color. White folks rob, y'all kill, y'all sell drugs and guns, but not too often are y'all killed when the police show up. Not to say that it has never happened, but it's not too often. But it is definitely way less than the shit happens to us. We get killed walking the goddamn dog. Or breathing the fucking air. Still, this little boy should have been treated with the care due to someone with autism. But no, let's treat him like a criminal. Let's not take into consideration that he's a 10-year-old child. I don't give a fuck what color he is. I've said before, I don't care how up in arms I get about another person of color. So usually the whites in LA, we have issues with Hispanics from time to time. I don't care. If it's a child, it's a fucking child. That is an innocent. Okay, let's treat him like a criminal. Okay, let's put him in handcuffs. Let's not listen to the young boy. Let's not reprimand him with care. No, let's use reckless endangerment to a minor. Let's influence this juvenile to have a criminal mind and a hatred towards the very authority that he's going to be living and dwelling amongst as he get older. Let's do that. That makes more fucking sense, right? Okay, give it about 7 years. We'll have another youth whom, however white, will have nothing but malice in his heart for these so-called good guys, the fucking cops. Okay, when will this change? When do the police get punished as certainly as people who break laws or act out of conduct do? We need sympathy. We need empathy. Let's get prosperous. It's an ODDKAST. Okay, greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to BUB-IT, the ODDKAST with the bad example, Principal Black 10.
And it's your boy Plex.
But ladies and gentlemen, I have a treat for you today. Coming to the stage, the only gentleman in the world that ever been arrested and is so special the handcuffs refuse to lock on his wrist. The only gentleman to walk down the whole stroll and all the pimps run and hide. This motherfucker has been missing in action. He's the only gentleman who Barack Obama himself calls when he needs advice on how to further advance this nation. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the boy, young Black Yo-Yo in the building. What's up, Black Yo?
Man, shit, that's a blessing, boy. I thought y'all was talking about Jay-Z or something.
Oh, that boy good. What it do? What it do?
Yeah, we got your ass today, motherfucker. You here? So this is the original BUB-IT, the ODDKAST crew. We had a little latency with Black A. You know, when you're driving around in limousines and you know you were the advising the Secretary of the State and all this old shit. You know, it's hard because sit down with regular motherfuckers on the podcast and we dig it. But we got this.
1 second too. You know, I have to come back down to earth.
And
get back stations. You know, but I'm here. I'm good. Ready.
All right, that's what it is. How was everybody's week?
Man, adult as always.
It was adult as always, Brother Plex.
My week was pretty easy.
It was pretty easy.
It was pretty easy. I only worked 3 days, basically.
Well, okay. Well, shit, I ain't mad at that. You know, I worked today. I missed the hours because the holiday and you know. Every first Thursday of the month, the ports they shut down, so it was a short day on that day. But other than that, everything was everything. I did the best I could. I worked 7 days a week. You know, 7 days to this week rather to make up for that. You know what I'm saying? The short work.
Yeah.
Didn't make that much more money, but shit, I still had to at least keep the money I make. Fuck that. So you
ain't that how it always works out though?
Yeah. You know, you think you're doing something and it's really nigga, you're not. Yeah.
You ain't did shit.
You
ain't gonna be shit. Ain't never been shit.
Like I work more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I work more than I get paid. It seems like I don't know. It's just like damn. Sometimes I feel like I go to work and volunteer because it just don't add up sometimes.
Yeah, well, it's the narrative of the non-rich. That's all it really is. We work, you know what I mean? It's all good. At least we hold our heads up and we do it. So pretty much my week was like Aplex said, the horror movie, the horror show. You know what I'm saying? The mother of my children still looking at me like, nigga, I hate this motherfucker. Won't you die from diabetes today? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's pretty much police. She looked at me like, she's the police. She's looking at what this nigga up to. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, but
I try to avoid them problems. Sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't. But it's just the nature of the beast.
I thought I tried to avoid problems, but I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with life, even at my age. So I don't really care. It is what it is. Look, my ass is out of here. If I'm looking about, I got 25 more years. And everybody can kiss my ass goodbye anyway, so I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. I'm going to try to get better with finances, try to get better as a father, and You know, we'll see what else I can get better at. Other than that, it's BUB-IT the iCast, so fucking let's get on. I got some,
BUB-IT
the iCast.
You over there fucking up too now?
You should have said too. I know we love Andre 3000 and Big Boy, but it's the iCast. You ain't get it together. I fucked up for a whole month, so I'm never gonna talk shit. Do it how you want to do it. I'll tell you what, brothers. I got some shit that it's some bullshit today. Okay, today is not really a serious topic, a serious subject matter. Fair warning. I'm just on some bullshit. But I got to say it. I got to say it.
What is it?
There are women in the world today, okay, that have bars. Speaking of, women who rap. I don't care if you sing or whatever else you do, women who rap. There are women today who have bars, and there are women who not so well grown. But there seems to be, this issue on these various platforms about women in hip-hop having writers, and a lot of them are not necessarily, they're not showing themselves. They're showing the uniform. They show the hair, the 11 ounces of makeup on the face and all that shit. And I think it's going down with the butt shots. I think that's becoming unpopular. So, but point being, number one, do you or do you not? Because I don't give a fuck about females who aren't spitters having writers or even the ability to spit a decent lyric. In hip hop, we've always had the rule: if you supposed to be an MC, Rhapsody needs to write her own lyrics. Okay, Lauryn Hill needed to be writing her own lyrics. Who else could I think? Who do we got that's a lyrical MC? Nicki Minaj needs to write her own lyrics. Anybody in that vein? You said no, she don't.
No, she don't.
Honestly, I didn't know that because Nicki Minaj is a spitter. So she don't write.
This is where the controversy lies with a person like that, because she's the product of the new age streaming era MC and the MDA MC.
Okay.
She has ghostwriters.
Oh.
Any MC can tell. Listen to her now. And listen to her first album. Listen to everything she was hot on. Listen to her flow pattern. Listen to her now.
I'm not going to do that, sir. I'm not against Nicki Minaj. I like much like anybody else who's in that vein.
Well,
when you come out spitting, go ahead.
But to answer your question,
though. My thought is this: if you consider yourself an MC, then you better not have no ghostwriters. If you consider yourself a rapper, then I don't care if you got a ghostwriter. But don't ever claim to be the dopest MC,
Yeah, if you consider yourself at the top of that list, or a real MC, or a lyricist, or a hip hop head, you better not have a ghostwriter.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And that's my thing. That's one of the only. See, what I don't cater to. Y'all know rules pretty much as it is anyway. But I not for the most part. I don't. I don't even like the whole female MC word. It's an MC. It's a person. I mean, she's a female. That's obviously. Yeah, we're looking at her. She's a woman. We see that, but she's a fucking MC. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying?
If she's an MC and not a rapper, there's a difference.
You're right. I just feel that that's the one rule. Me myself, I can't speak for everybody. I will adhere to. Nobody will ever ghostwrite for me. Period.
Well, to me, that's
that. I'm not having that.
That's the only rule in hip hop that I really hold firm.
Okay, so
is if you write, you're an MC. If you don't, you're a rapper.
So, is there a difference between the music business and rapping?
No. I don't see where.
Well, yeah, there is, because the music business is a business. Rapping is an art form.
So if you're a popular rapper and you can't make songs, and they're investing money in you, what you think they're gonna do? What you think is gonna happen for you?
Yeah, well,
okay,
that's fair enough.
Yeah. I see what you said. I guess. Okay, my apologies. I didn't understand what you were asking. I thought you meant is rap considered that? I mean, that's where it's industrious at in the music industry. You know what I'm saying? Rapping. Now, outside of that, if we beating on the bench tables like we used to do at lunchtime, and rapping, then no, yeah, exactly. That's it. But now, me personally, that's what I said. Me personally, I don't give a fuck if you are in the industry. If you go in there and you spit and you're a spitter, then be a spitter. Now, when it comes to arranging songs, I guess you're right. I guess that would be another issue. I've had Plex, I've had Fats advise me, and all of us have done it for each other, I believe, before, or certain words should be here or there.
Yeah, but that's different. That's a collaborative effort.
Okay, well, that's different then. I'm just making sure that's not considered as a fucking ghostwriter.
No.
I owe you niggas money, and I was going to hang up right now. I ain't got it. Pierre Marie, nigga, I ain't got it.
No.
Marie, nigga,
collaborating with other artists, making a song, that's different. Because that happens regardless throughout music in every genre. But if you consider yourself a MC, regardless of the music production behind you or the machine behind you, if you consider yourself an MC, then you need to be writing your lyrics. I mean, that's MCing to me is poetry. So I couldn't hear, Langston Hughes saying, I got a ghostwriter that wrote all my poetry. Right. I just say it when it's time for me to get on stage. I mean, then no, you're not. You're just the entertainer at that point. You're just a rapper. So to me,
what would you rank KRS-One as far as MC? What would you rank?
AMC. I'll rank him up there.
Now he's on record for saying if Rakim would have said, I got a rap for you, he would have spit it.
Okay.
Yeah, but we all know that KRS-One also writes his own lyrics, so I mean that's no different from me. That's no different from me making a whole album and say, look, I want you to say this part right here, 10, I want you to say this part right here. We're not technically ghostwriting, but
he said if Rakim came to him with a whole rap, he's going to record it. He said somebody like a Rakim can write for him.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if y'all heard it, but the police have made their weekly visit. I don't know if anybody heard the say, but they're here. But keep going. So he said he will write it. He will rap it if interesting.
He said off top. He said somebody like that. He said because that's Rakim.
Well, I can see that. I can see that because Rakim writes his own lyrics. But he writes his own lyrics as well. But if you ain't writing your own lyrics at all, and you claiming that you an MC, you're not. You can't be in that MC car.
And that's where the argument comes in because it doesn't matter. We know you write your own rhymes, but the moment you have a ghostwriter, they eliminate all that.
Yeah.
Like the only reason why Drake survived that whole ghostwriting thing, which he really still haven't, because everybody says he can't consider himself a top MC now because of that one time he had a ghostwriter, which was Quentin, which wasn't one time, he did more than one song.
Yeah, but he did a whole album with Quentin. So, I mean, that's different. It's kind of different from having somebody write a song for you. I mean, what is it? MC Search wrote a song for Rakim.
He has, that's what I'm saying. But what about all the work he put in before that?
Yeah, but as soon as you reciting a whole album and claiming that it's yours, knowing that somebody else wrote it, you can't be an MC after that. I don't care about collaborations or somebody. If you and your homies, maybe 10 wrote a verse or a song that sound better with me saying it or than you saying it, we still consider ourselves MCs because all in all, we still write our own lyrics for 99.9% of the time. So I wouldn't hold that against KRS as being an MC.
Well, wouldn't it be 100% of the time for us? Nobody's ever. I wouldn't.
No. I was saying. I
wrote this verse, and I feel that this is something Black Tim would say. I would still say, well, nigga, you finna be Fats, Plex, or Yayo saying something that Tim would say. I'm not gonna do it. I write my own raps.
I get that, but what I'm saying is,
a hook different.
But we're not even calling hooks because everybody writes hooks across the board for each other. But I'm just saying a verse or a song. If I wrote a song that sound better with you saying it, or vice versa, or with Ye saying it, or vice versa, I still wouldn't hold that against that person as a rap or as an MC, because 99% of the time, and we're including that one time that somebody else wrote a verse for him or a song for him. That's why I get that 99.99%. Because you got that 1% where you didn't write it, you just recited it. I wouldn't hold that against them. But if you're doing it, if it's consecutive, that every song that you got is not your own penmanship, then yeah, you are not an MC. You're a rapper. But if you writing 100% of your material, and that one time somebody spits something for you, like, and he's like, I wrote it for you, and you like it, you recite it verbatim, then yeah, you got a ghostwriter. But most of the time, most of these guys, they'll change things up and make it their own, because again, it goes against what originally hip hop was supposed to be when it comes to an MC. So I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm pretty sure KRS would have changed some of that verse to fit his flow style and flow pattern and how he speaks. Because him and Rakim's style is completely different.
So even though I was talking about the ladies of hip hop, but you brought up the Drake guy. Do you feel that? So are you saying that? Okay, so does he lose status as an elite MC to you or not? Because I mean, I don't really. I think Drake is very talented, and I definitely can see where what Drake is. He's in the vein like me and like we spoke previous Plexus with R Fats and Yayo. He's the punchline guy. You know what I'm saying? And he's dope at it. So does he lose any status of that for the Quentin Miller incident?
Yes.
No.
I do. Okay. He loses the status of being an MC, but he does not lose the status of being a rapper or a great entertainer.
A great entertainer, yeah. He
makes good music. I still listen to his music. But he can't be in that MC card. I can't say like these are my top 10 and include him, or top 20 and include him, because he's now lost that status.
The reason why I say because he's written for other people.
He's what?
He's written for other people.
Yeah.
Not only R&B, but he's written for Lil Wayne on the Carter.
Yeah, he's written, but I can't give him that MC status anymore. He's got an asterisk around his name.
So for Plex, it's definitely an asterisk, and for Yayo, you're saying there's no asterisk?
No, because his previous work proved it. Like, so Snoop gets eliminated from that too. Because
I never thought Snoop was a great lyricist.
I never seen Snoop as a great lyricist, but he's definitely a hardcore ass MC as far as that gangster shit he spit.
I think he's a great artist. I don't think he's I don't consider him as a lyricist in that regard. I consider him a dope artist. I consider him a dope rapper. He can freestyle. He hits all the checkpoints of an MC. I just don't consider him an MC. I consider him more of an artist, because he does so many different genres of music now. If he just stayed with rapping in it, that'd be different. But he does multiple things. That's why I can't consider it. Drake a dope MC. I consider him a dope artist, a dope rapper. He's done. I like his music. He does a lot of popular music that I like. I don't hold anything against him, but I can't put him in that MC card. I can't. He doesn't line up in what my standards are of a top 10, top 20, top 50.
Okay, you know what? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we originally talking about females.
But females,
that's fine. But
females.
So Nicki Minaj has an asterisk, is what you're saying? Because I've never known her to have a ghostwriter. That's new information to me. I've always thought she was just her penning her own shit.
I mean, I know that she had
Safari wrote for her.
I know that Safari wrote some of the stuff for her, but I don't know if he wrote everything for her. Or
Safari.
I don't know if Safari wrote everything for her, but I know they did a lot of collabs, because they at one point was in a group together. So I don't know if
he wrote Long as Revenge.
Yeah, but how much of his input was in it?
Song.
Oh man, well,
he wrote the whole song.
Never mind.
What song?
Roman's Revenge. I
Roman's
didn't really
Revenge.
care for that anyway.
Safari wrote Roman's Revenge was the hardest shit I heard from that young lady.
I didn't really care
Except
for
for Chun Li. I mean, well, it's all subjective. I like Roman's Revenge.
That song is. He wrote that.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Okay.
But he's come out publicly and said that he wrote, you know, a lot of her stuff and that he helped her with a lot of her style and flow.
Well, what the hell is wrong with him on his shit? Because his shit don't be bar savvy. Roman's Revenge was bar savvy.
Because she sounds better doing that style than he does. That's really what it is. When they first split up and he went solo, if you go back and look at when he first went solo without her, he was doing the same. He was doing that same style, and it just didn't sound good compared to how way she does it. She perfected that style.
It's a girl.
Yeah,
she's a female.
She just perfected that style of rapping. I mean, I wouldn't even say it's because she's a female or because he's a male. It's just because she came out first with it.
She says, "Oh well, that like her Caribbean type of flow, even though she's mixed with whatever she's mixed with." She says that influence comes from Foxy. It don't. It comes from him. Foxy don't even sound like that when she rapping her Caribbean thing. Like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything I heard from Nicki sound like Foxy, even her Caribbean thing that she does.
It's all
she don't sound like Foxy at all to me. None of it sounds like that to me.
At all. None of it. Yeah, that's a reach as far as I'm concerned. But either way it goes, that is the one thing that I still adhere and hold high to a higher standard when it comes to MCing. Pin your own shit. I'm not talking about hooks. I'm not talking about a record label bringing you in there and, well, let's structure the song like this. This is what the song's going to be about.
But this is where it gets tricky at, though, because females, most of them go through that. Well, most artists go through it. Yeah, you can be lyrically dope, and you can have the best pen in the game. Okay, Papoose is one of the top 5 MCs.
Yeah.
So what you in the music business for? That's what I'm saying. There's a difference between rapping and hip hop and lyrics and all that. And then
hip hop has become like sports as far as there's much to commentate on these days. When people say, can you make songs? I might just be ignorant and naive to the factors of it, which I believe may be the case. But when people say, we need that hit, you can't make hits. I don't know that that's the case. I think it's more of you're at the mercy of the public. If the public says this shit is lit, which the public has come out and sent a lot of records platinum, that I'm sitting there listening like, this shit is horrible. This shit is trash. Like, you know. But I mean, it could just be me.
Well, if the record labels want pop music and you can't make a pop music hit, then that's different. I mean, but I'm not always checking for pop music.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. This is why the spectrum is so broad, because there's room for everything. Like, you don't have to be into that. You have female rappers that can actually spit. Yeah,
I mean, I like. I don't know if she writes her own stuff, but what is her name? Young M.A. I liked her shit.
Young M.A.
I don't know if she
can. Wrote her own shit. Yes, another one. Yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm glad because I couldn't think of another one, but that's definitely another one. Young M.A. is dope as fuck, and she go crazy with the bars. So I really would like there to be a factor that she writes her own shit. But Rhapsody is my favorite artist in hip hop. Not again, and I don't care that she's a female, but since we're talking about female artists, that's my favorite female spitter right now. And I'm quite sure there's more that she's not, because you just mentioned Young M.A. She's also dope. But Rhapsody is the shit to me.
Yeah, there's a few female spitters I've seen. I saw some. I forgot where I was looking at it. I was in a rabbit hole on YouTube, and I came across 2 females that were they had that chop flow, and they were pretty hard. Yeah. And I forgot what video it was. I went to go back and kind of research those girls again and check them out, because I liked the little sample. No, they were 2 individual girls. So they did. It was I forgot. It was Twista doing the interview, and they were asking him.
You were the white bitch, right?
Yeah,
the white bitch is gorilla.
Yeah, she's from L.A. I don't remember her name though.
The white broad is gorilla.
Yeah.
She's a gorilla. She go in. She go in.
Yeah, I forgot it was with Twista, and he was like, they were asking him, since he's not the originator, but he's kind of the originator because he really first came out and really blew up as a chopping rapper, doing that double time, and they were asking him like, who else does he fuck with in that avenue, and they put up a bunch of different clips of different rappers who are new, who are either coming out, about to blow, or already blowing, and they put JID on there, they put a couple of other guys on there. They put a couple of other females on there, and both the females were dope. And I was like, damn, I never heard of these chicks. I'm going to go back and check it out. But then, like I said, I was in a rabbit hole, so I lost where the video was and what the video is called. I have to go through my history and like really go through it and find where that was at, and then go back and research from there. Just haven't done it.
You know what it is? It's Cosign. That's that show. That's the little like, channel, the platform. It's called Cosign.
Oh, okay. Well, shout out to Cosign.
As far as that, they're not in the industry. They battle rap. They do battle rap. So
I don't like female battle rappers. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just they too.
It's nothing like it.
I just it doesn't work for me.
How could you not respect the female battle rapper?
I didn't say I didn't respect them. I respect them. I
don't like it.
I just don't like it.
Children, let's not put words in each other's mouth.
It's not that I don't like it. It's not that I don't respect them for doing that. I just don't like it. I just don't like how it comes off. I just don't like it. I just don't like the battle rap format for females. That's all.
Well, at the end of the day, I respect and like both of them. If it's dope to me. Just my perspective or my opinion on that. But what I will say, segueing into what I'm running adjacent to that subject, is even not just rapping, just females who be online or just in life, period, who over exonerate themselves. Like I'm marketable, I'm a valuable, bitch. It is usually based on a life. Their life experiences, as far as I guess how they're treated based on their looks or whatever. And a lot of them, first of all, let me say, I know I look raggedy. I never claimed to be handsome, even when I had hair, even when I had my afro. I never claimed to be handsome. I'll always be a snappy trooper, I'll always be a raggedy. I don't give a fuck. My stage name is The Ugly, Grind Thirsty, The Prince. So I know that I don't look like shit, but bitch, used to. You know what I'm saying? What made me want to talk about that though is like I don't give a damn if a girl is cigarette built or bear built, whatever it is. If I like you, I like you. I'm not shallow like that. I don't really give a fuck about that. We all were like what you call it, voluptuous bosom. And a nice ass, men like that, not just black men anymore. Most men like that, and that little kind of hourglass figure. But I'm from the ghetto. If you ain't got one stretch mark, I'm going to think you are an alien implant, and I'm not fucking with it.
No, I'm going to think you do.
There are something. You're too perfect.
For me, as long as I can be attractive to your figure, then I'm okay. But what really helps me along, regardless of what you look like, is your attitude. You could be
personality.
You could be the most beautiful woman in the world, but if you got a shitty attitude, I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm like fucking on you. That's it. And eventually, even if I believe, what I thought was cute when I was younger. I thought it was cute to have that little fiery sass about everything and talk hood and but I didn't even pay attention to it. Just one day I grew out of it, and eventually you look up and you hear a motherfucker get on the phone and talk business with somebody and sound professional, and then turn to you and everything is a bitch and a motherfucker. I'm like, motherfucker, I might as well be talking to my goddamn self. That person, bitches say shit like, especially my sisters. Sisters say shit like, we men claim to like straight hair, so we wear these weaves, and y'all complain about it. Men claim to like, lighter complected women, so we wear this makeup, and y'all complain about it. But we also say you have a shit attitude, bitch. You don't do nothing to that. You don't even attempt to try and change or fix that. I like looking at you like Texas said, as long as I could be attracted, like I don't really care. I mean, I'm unattracted. Now you can't be unattractive to me, you know what I'm saying? But if you're a big girl, big bone girl, or slim girl, long as I'm looking at you like Cameo, like that candy, long as it's that shit, you know, long as it's that shit, I'm on it, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. And then when your personality, I guess what I'm trying to say is,
personality goes a long way.
As a man, you still want a woman to be somewhat graceful and you know, just somewhat more docile than me.
Hey, what did Volume 10 say on that one song back in the day? I need a freak in bed, but I also need a woman for my head. And most of these bitches ain't women for your head.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm like, I'm not judging because, like, I'm not ready. You know, we spoke on the podcast with me with infidelity and cheating and lying and not be coming honest about it, not wanting to face it to the woman or whatever. So by far, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I do believe that if you don't bring a lot of peril about if your attitude don't seem shitty, if you don't look like somebody just shit in your oatmeal every day, you probably can go a long way with me. When the motherfucker come home and a bitch sitting in there with her work clothes smelling like half cologne, half foot vinegar, and looking like, you know what I'm saying, she just got fired from her job almost every day. Eventually, you gonna go in the house like, man, this bitch here. You know what I'm saying? Like, God damn, bitch, you can smell. I'm angry, black man. I'm angry like a motherfucker on the beach cruising up Manchester Boulevard in South Central LA with his last cigarette behind his ear. And we've all seen that. It's not a particular.
I might do it later on today.
There's some angry niggas right there. But when you're dealing with a female that matches that persona, it's like, it's not good. I'm not championing it at all.
It's a turn off.
Be honest. You can easily be like, you know what, bitch, you don't make me happy no more. I'm out of here. But yeah, it's gonna keep you kind of. You just said it. You know what I mean.
It's a turn off.
Now, if you bare built, I ain't gonna lie. If you bare built and I find you attractive, I'm gonna go, oh yeah. If you stick figure and then I find you attractive, I'm gonna go, oh yeah. It don't matter. It's gonna be like candy, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? If I'm attracted to you, I'm attracted to you. But whatever you look like, now don't get me wrong. I am a nigga who be on these broads' foots. If you got Ursula shoe, if you got them Ursula foots, bet you ain't finna be scratching up the concrete walking next to me. Talking about I need a pedicure. For what? You don't need a pedicure. You need a replacement. You know what I'm saying? An entire transplant. You know what I'm saying? You can put some deer hoofs on them hoofs, and them hoofs won't be them hoofs that I'm looking at right now because them motherfuckers is hoofs right now. You know what I'm saying? So I do be on that. As far as, you know, you can't have the Ursula foot, but, you know, other than that, if you got a good personality, you know what I'm saying, I could usually probably rock with you. You know what I mean? Because my personality is raggedy, but I don't want to get with another raggedy motherfucker. They say find people that are like you to make it work with that. You know, opposites attract sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Again, like I said, I have to go back to what I said. I don't care what you look like, as long as I can find you attractive to my standards. Then, but if your personality ain't up to par, up to snuff, then I really don't care for you. But if your personality, to me, your personality will enhance what you got going on the outside. So you know, and if you the other thing is, if you ain't about shit, then I ain't fucking with you. That's how I've always been.
What do you mean as far as what?
If you ain't about shit, period. If you ain't got no ambition, no aspirations, no dreams, no nothing, you ain't trying to do something with yourself other than couch surf on that fucking couch, I ain't fucking with you. I've always been that. I've always been like that.
Well, here's the thing. If I'm wealthy, I don't really mind a stay-at-home woman, especially if you're tending greatly. If you're dealing greatly, you're tending to the children and great.
But that's your job, then.
Let me say it like Donald Trump. bigly, folks. It's where you're wonderful, wonderful people, bigly. If you're tending to the children, bigly, then I have no problem with that. But if you work, I don't have a problem with that. If you make more money than me, I don't have a problem with that. If you make less money than me, I don't have a problem with that. But yeah, if you just a bum bitch and you sitting there and everything is the housewives of this and the reality of this and it's on TV and all this reality shows, and I come in the room and your ass sitting there smelling like marijuana, looking angry, and my kid is in there with the other kids, and you calling yourself this great motherfucker, I'm gonna look at you like, bitch, everything you said about me is fuck your grandmama's face with your daddy's dick. How about that? Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Everything is that. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, don't talk about me when you and she, well, I wanted you to do this and have greater ambition. Okay, but what if I'm happy in my career, what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? If you don't tell me about what you wanted my ambition to be, and you can't, and you struggling, like me or worse than me.
You lashing out at me because you ain't shit.
Yeah.
Like you doing something, and man, that's crazy. Why would you tell somebody some shit like that?
Yeah.
You should be here in your career by now, or you should be doing this by now, but you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah. Like I said. If you over 30 years old and you ain't got no aspirations, no dreams, ain't trying to be shit, ain't gonna be shit, then I can't fuck with you, because then you just gonna bring me down. I don't care if you on a hiatus right now, if you just fell on hard times, that's different, But if you ain't got no objective, you ain't got shit that you trying to do, I ain't trying to build you and try and give you a position to play. You should already be in your position. I'm too old to be trying to build bitches. That's why I'm married.
I'm not bad. You know what? I wouldn't give a fuck if a motherfucker, me personally, everybody, this is probably an unpopular opinion, but especially in the black community, I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I don't give a fuck if, hold up though, I don't give a fuck if you just work at McDonald's and because you rise up the ranks through that. Whatever you do, as long as you're doing something and you're happy with what you're doing, I'm gonna go and do my best to try to charge and find the rate to match that and make it to where still surviving and going beyond.
Well,
you know what I mean? I'm gonna try.
Just to touch on that what you said, as far as you in McDonald's, you work as a mop person, and then you moved up to now you the head chef, or you the assistant manager. Me being the other half, I'm gonna say, well, how much does it cost to open up a McDonald's franchise and you run that shit, because you've been from you started from the mop to the top.
Let's try to see if we can own it.
Which is also good, but it's still easier said than done, because I don't know too many more. I don't know nobody who owned a McDonald's franchise. So it all sounds good. My point is, I'm not for shitting on a person's effort. Everything doesn't always work out.
But what I'm saying to that is,
you know why you don't know nobody who own one? Because most of the people that we know don't think about shit like that.
Yeah,
that ain't even in their mind.
That is true.
Oh no, you got to get the new Jordans, my nigga. You got to get the chain.
I was about to say that.
You got to get the chains.
But the other thing is, if you started at the mop and 5 years later you still on the mop, then there's an ambition situation.
That dude, your ass got caught sleep with a Big Mac box on your lap on work hours, and they kept.
If you ain't, that's why I said it don't matter. It don't matter what you do or what your plans are, but if you're doing something, regardless of whatever job it is, and you ain't trying to be the best or try to achieve more in that job, even if you don't like it, just to get yourself to the next plateau, maybe the next plateau in that job may be more money so you can go somewhere else. If you ain't got no kind of ambitions, then I ain't fucking with you. And I expect a female to feel the same way. Right. That if a man ain't got no ambitions, that, she shouldn't be fucking with him either. At the age that I am, if you over 30 and either one of you, man or woman, ain't got no ambitions, then what the fuck are y'all doing together?
It all sounds good, but there's plenty of family. I mean, let's be real. Most of America consists of families who work a job, or even if they work for themselves, there's a small business, and they make it by until they pass on. Now, if that was the case, it would be more than 1%. We wouldn't be calling it the 1%. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with a common life per se. Of course, I want better, but I'm not going to be so hard up on it to where, because that can bring that can also bring issues and problems into a relationship when a person words come off as over ambitious, but motherfucker look at you like, nigga, you don't own shit yet either. Why are you still fucking with me about, well, we can do this, okay, get up and try it. If somebody falls short, you move forward. I don't like motherfuckers bailing. Hell, I don't even like motherfuckers bailing out relationships because cheating and shit, but that's just me. I understand everybody's different. But when you stop the momentum based on the results being ill-conceived in your mind, then I think you're not really helping the scenario, the overall. You know what I mean?
Well, with everything comes hard work, regardless of what work that is. But like I said, again, it all falls back to what I was saying just a few minutes ago. If you ain't showing no signs of ambition for whatever you're doing, whether it's working for the man that you don't want to work for because you're making that man rich, or trying to do your own thing and trying to build your own thing up and maybe still holding down the job at the same time. If you ain't got no kind of ambitions, if you don't want better for yourself, even in the job that you in, then I mean, what are you doing it for? You know what I mean? That's I heard this is a long time ago. I heard Snoop. I think it was Snoop that said it, or maybe somebody. It could have been somebody else, just another rapper in general. They were saying, "What you making money for? What you rapping for? What you trying to get signed to be a rapper for, but ain't trying to make no money."
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Everybody's got to make. Everybody's got to live. Everybody's got to eat. Everybody. I mean, you don't have to be.
Otherwise, you'll be doing it just for fun.
Yeah, like, you don't have to be. I mean,
trying to even get signed. Like,
exactly. I mean, you don't have to be the hardest rapper, the dopest rapper, the most popular rapper, but you should be trying to at least go gold, just to sustain yourself and make rapping your job, and that you can get paid off. Maybe you aren't going to be the best rapper, but maybe you could open up the doors and maybe start a label on your own.
The best rapper,
yeah, and maybe sign the best rapper type of thing. You know what I mean? And that's look at perfect example. Look at what Search did. I never thought Search was the dopest rapper, hardest rapper, but he brought in other people that into the rap game that could do something. You know?
Yeah.
Say Eminem did it with, he brought in D12, Royce the 5'9", all these other
the
people.
effort was there, and the door was already open for said individuals, and they did the right thing by trying to market other talent. You know what I mean? And bring them into the fold and sustain not only the level of income they're at, but grow based on other ventures. So it's all good. But I know one thing: personality matters. Yes, ambition matters, but as far as your looks, if I find you sexy, like I don't care if you plumped in. My fucking wife was a big bone girl for the most part all her life, and that never moved me to dislike her because she was big bone. I found her attractive, and I used to tell her, I like it plumping. I like it round. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck what you built like. Excuse me, whatever it is, you're attractive to me because you're attractive to me. But do not take it upon yourself to start telling me all this shit that you are and are supposed to be, because that's what's going to make me look at you like, bitch, just you tomorrow. I might find you attractive today, but tomorrow I can regard you like the bottom of my foot, bitch. You ain't shit. Really? You know what I'm saying? Real easy. Real, just like you do. Women have this thing where they're like, "Oh, you're replaceable. All niggas is replaceable." Bitches forget that they are. And the thing is, I can only speak for myself. See, I'm an emotional human, but I'm not emotional. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely emotional at times, but I'm not overtly emotional. You know what I'm saying? So all that, it's another nigga that'll take me. It's another, well, bitch, go find him. I might even be hurt about it. I might even be hurt a little bit about you fucking and sucking off another nigga. But guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to lose my cool about it. I ain't going to beat nobody up about it. I ain't going to fight you or him about it. I'm going to just regular the next day brings what the next day brings. Now, when I go do it, I guarantee you a bitch going to deteriorate for a moment. Oh, I can't believe it, motherfucker. Oh, you're going to be like, okay, well then get off your high horse, bitch. Get off your high horse. Because I will go get a bitch that look like a rudder for a boat compared to you, and you won't be able to understand it. Like this nigga that went got the second bitch, yeah, but I guarantee you this bitch is doing something.
She looked like Esther's little sister. Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's something, I bet you it's going to be less gray hair. It's going to be less stress because this bitch stressed me 1,000 times less than you. I don't give a fuck. You can talk about how the bitch look. You're still ugly as fuck on the inside. You rotten apple bitch. You bitch, you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, and it ain't really, you know, like I said, we just kicking the shit. We just kind of freestyle today, but it's something I want to talk about. Not nothing personal for me, you know, it wasn't no experience for me that, well, on this conversation. But yeah, I really was a partner of mine. I ain't gonna say, of course, who it is, but you know, his bitch thought it was gonna prove something to, you know, pull up around the nigga and start talking shit with us right there. And meanwhile, bitches seem to think that scene making shit means something. It's like, really, I'm looking at you. Of course, this motherfucker's like, girl star, ooh, she told him, ooh, you know, some, you know, gay build ass niggas, you know what I'm saying? Not LBGT. Man, fuck that. I ain't gonna keep making these disclaimers from the motherfuckers' place. Break it if you think they ain't gonna like it. Fuck them. Punk ass activity, and the bitch think and niggas like, well, so man, she can't, you seen it? I'm like, man, you bitch ass nigga, that's why the bitch do it, because niggas like you that's gonna co-sign it. The bitch look like a dumb bitch with too much motherfucking misery on her mind and too much misery on her soul and too much time on her hands. She an ain't shit bitch. But 1,000 times the bitch told this nigga he ain't shit and he this and this. That bitch just multiplied that 1,000 times on her part. So what? Nigga, go ahead and cater and champion this bitch acting like a fucking wild, savage animal. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
Really shit though. It's always, I noticed that these days, like niggas always talk about bitches and but motherfucking nigga, like a female acting wild in public, we've all seen it. They don't mean that it was personal, but we've all seen some female throwing the nigga clothes out or whatever she's doing. You know what I'm saying? And niggas be like, well, I don't. That's okay. Yeah. They do. I see a motherfucker putting the motherfucker shit together and put it in the front room like, bitch, you gotta go. But throwing the bitch shit out in public, for real?
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Niggas videotape and all that shit like females. They do all that shit. We in that era. We in the social media era where it's cool to beef and put it online. Yeah. Go live, get likes.
I seen a nigga put a girl out, threw his shit out, threw all her shit out, and go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just seen a dude catch his girl cheating. He knew she was in there. He all on live and shit. Like, oh, I'm about to put her out. All this shit. Like, you look stupid though. Like, nigga.
Why would you do that though? What is that? Like, okay. If the bitch is getting a shot, so if the bitch is getting a shot of side dick, I understand that touches the feelings. Believe me, I understand. Here's the thing. How is it social media's fucking? How is it even the neighbor's business? Why do people do that? And even if it ain't that, if y'all just arguing, why is that everybody's business? You know, and men cater to that shit. Well, some men cater to that shit. Like, yeah, she told him, you sucker cape ass, Captain Saber ass nigga. You want to fuck her up, so you champion to put on your Sambo shoes to fuck the bitch, nigga. The bitch just showed you that she's an ungovernable, untamable, savage bitch.
Because everybody is trying to get likes on social media, bro. Because everybody's trying to get likes on social media. That's all that it is. It is everybody's addicted to likes. That's really all it is.
I know what it is. I just don't like it.
The thing is, outside of social media, it trickles down to it's. I was always told negative energy or whatever energy is put out is spread. Right. It's so we're in the era of sucker shit is cool for dudes and females. Females been getting away for doing this shit because it's considered that's what females do. They throw tantrums, make scenes.
Well, then niggas cheat. That's what we do. Get over it then. If we gotta accept that shit, accept our shit, bitch. How about that?
That's what I'm saying. The roles have reversed now because these girls, most of these chicks nowadays, they Snapchat premium and nigga PayPal and my connect and all this shit. So these bitches is they internet models and shit. They act like niggas. They selling pussy. These niggas is catching feelings over hoes that they buying pictures from and shit, and then they exposing them. Like niggas leak nude pictures of girls now. Like it's just it's a weird ass energy. This shit is such
if I call a bitch I was with fucking a second online and I seen it, I'm not sharing that. Like I don't get.
If it's on, everybody even seen it. So what the fuck?
Well, I mean, but why do I? Yeah, that's my point. Why do I need to share it though? You clout yourself, bitch.
What satisfaction am I gonna get to go into my chick house like, oh, I caught you cheating? Hey, nigga, you know I'm her dude. Like he's sitting up there asking this nigga questions and shit. Oh, you know I'm her dude. You know, I pay the bills in here.
I don't get that. I don't like, get that. It is what it is. If it happened, it happened. What's the fucking? You know what I'm saying? What do they call that shit? When they talk to you, the police question you. What do they call that shit? Apex, what's that? And what's with the fucking interrogation? She fucked. He fucked. I mean, it is what it is. But I want to know when and how long. You want to know how the sex, when the sex, why it happened. If you gonna rock with the motherfucker.
About sucker shit. Well, a female that ain't about shit because she was the perfect example of that because this nigga like, oh well, yeah, I'll pay the bills. Yeah, she laying up in here rent free. She ain't got no job. She ain't in school. Well, nigga, you a dumbass because you got a bitch that ain't nothing, nigga. Matter of fact, he like, we got a kid. You know, we got a kid. He like, yeah, I know we got. He was like, I know y'all got a kid. Well. Come to find out, it was a girl, nigga. You got two kids then, because if she ain't got shit, she ain't doing nothing. You taking care of her as like a fucking girl, like one of your babies. That's why I said I don't have tolerance for a female like that because one, my oldest daughter is 14, nigga. I'm taking care of teenage fucking female. I don't need no grown ass child to take care of. Bitch, if you ain't got shit going for yourself, nigga, it ain't nothing I can do for you at all.
Right.
I don't even want to fuck on you because that shit'll make me feel bad for fucking a bum bitch.
So what you're saying is there will be no,
if you ain't got shit going for you, bitch, you better have something going for you if you want me to hit a high note. Bitch, if you want that Luther Vandross effect from me, bitch, you better be about something. I don't give a fuck.
I want a female that I can say simply this to. Girl, let's lay up and get all glucose-fit and sodiums and fall into a stupor and dream about promiscuous misconduct at the Waffle House.
Like, if I be like, bitch, I don't want to go out tonight, I'd rather cook and stay in the house and do some shit. I don't want no attitude over that shit. Like,
speaking of the Waffle House, have y'all all been to the Waffle House?
What is going on with this nigga today? Like this nigga.
Have y'all been to the Waffle House?
No, I haven't. I went to a Waffle House many years ago when I was over the road trucking. And stopped by. I think it was Mississippi.
When you was doing that shit, you should have.
Yeah. I went, but I went before it was, popular to kill a nigga and beat the shit out of somebody in that motherfucker. So
it's always been like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then I guess I got lucky then, and it didn't happen. I just went and got my food and I left.
Yeah.
Yeah, them niggas, they worse than gangbangers now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Waffle House.
Waffle motherfucking house.
Well, why would you ask it? Plex, why would you ask it? What about the Waffle House?
Hey, we got a road trip to the Waffle House.
Because as you said, most of the women I've seen at the Waffle House be, what is it? What did you call it? Bear built with mustachios.
I call them pumpkin. Yeah, I call them pumpkin.
Pumpkin?
Baby, do you need a side of syrup?
Baby built like a ripe cantaloupe. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those.
It looked like a motherfucking beer keg.
I don't care. Like my wife is a slinger built women these days, but she went through again. I'll be like, baby, how you doing? You look beautiful with your sexy ass. Now get over here and eat this sandwich. Make sure you double up on that bread.
Beauty is deeper than looks.
I seen a woman in the Waffle House with a mustache. And I said, God damn, I like how she got that lined up. I got to ask her who her barber is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you could take your flaw and make it sexy, bitch, you a bad bitch. I would call you a bad bitch if you could take your cross eye and make it sexy with the Leah bang over. Bitch, I ain't mad at that. Let's go out. Bitch, I'm not mad at it at all. I don't want to see you looking at me and somebody else across the room. Put the bang over that, you can rock with it.
That's why I'm glad I'm married.
Make them say.
Single nigga problems and niggas who fuck up their relationship problems and niggas who's undecisive problems is not the same as a problem of an individual who's happily married, or should I say, definitely married. Not that what's gonna happen shit or none of that other shit, you know. And it's a better life. It's a better life, you know what I mean? I could agree with that.
What is definitely married? What the hell I mean?
I'm definitely married.
We ain't got no issues where we ain't got no issues where we ain't got no issues where we might divorce or break up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm definitely married.
Shit as well. Yeah, you know. And yo, you got a girl, don't you?
Yeah.
I ain't seen this one. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen this one. You know, but pretty sure you did all right for yourself with your suave ass. You know. Yeah. I'm bragging. I don't. My shit. What am I? I'm just here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here. You know what I mean? It ain't even worth. It ain't worth even going to. We did a whole podcast on this shit, and it was taken out of context, like I said.
Yeah, let's not go into that.
Yeah. Let's leave that depression alone. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, yeah. The point being, I don't care. Me myself. Well, I don't need no dime piece. I've never been rich, wealthy, so I don't know if that's a thing that you're wealthy. You gotta have this female that sculpted or built this kind of way or whatever. I don't know what that is. I just don't really give a fuck what you. I mean, I do. You can't look just like me now. Let's not get it twisted. You can't look just like me. You know what I'm saying? And you can't look like Ursula Foots. You can't have Ursula claws. You can't look just like me. You can't speak just like me. I don't want you looking like you in the MMA. I'm not attracted to nothing manly on no motherfucking woman. And I don't want no over-exercised ass either. Like, I like a little jiggle and a wiggle. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's just me. I like that.
No, that's pretty much everybody I really know.
Yeah, I don't know too many motherfuckers that want a big you rub on the ass and sprain your wrist. Like, I'm cool on that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool on all that shit. The point being, yeah, for the bitch personality is what counts. And if you ain't got that in check, you could put a yard of bundles on your motherfucking head. You could put 11 gallons of makeup on your face. Bitch, you still a bitch. You bitch you. And that being said, we're going to take a short break, and we'll go into a little bit more of this BUB-IT on the ODDKAST.
Twist that shit, nigga.
West Coast.
Hot gas. Put sound. Short thumb is the move.
Clap City Kingdom. South Central. Compton. Watson. Inglewood. Especially Watson. Compton. Goonies in the tribe.
Goonies in the tribe.
Check it. Well, it's the concrete jungle, bush principle black. Equipped with the spit, leaving niggas' mentals on crack. From the birthplace of the C's and B's, where even bitches bang on your ass. Let you know it's all G. For me, I'm a certified black tribe, and Vanguard and black liberation, them riders is recognized. No hydraulic hopper, but the 400 border out engine Impala smash block, bruh. 8-5 swinging, dual posse with the 20-inch eye-rocks gleaming. The black man is leaning. Southern Los Angeles, speed demon. I embody every border of the Clap City Kingdom. Raised in the Watts Life Up and Compton Hub. Mama moved us to the big South Central of thugs. From a circle of a hard knock life, I'm pro-black, a prince of the poverty people, nigga. In the cities of the clap. Both hands, nigga. Where it's at? Got that burner, they ain't playing, nigga. Where it's at? Money, car, hopping hoes, nigga. Where it's at? Everybody wanna do like that. It's in the kingdom of the clap. Both hands, nigga. Where it's at? Got that burner, they ain't playing, nigga. Where it's at? Money, car, hopping hoes, nigga. Where it's at? Everybody wanna do like that. We in the kingdom called
From the
Clap.
city of Clap, the west side of the map. Originators of this thing we call gangster rap. Crenshaw stay packed with 6 foes or less. Car clubs with customized name plaques pasted in the back. The place that wear the wrong hat, get your face smacked, and cross the wrong track. And soldier strapped like Iraq. This rhyme cat places Clap City on my back. Whoever got a problem, I suggest you reply back. You better tell them black, it ain't safe for you new jack. Don't try to move crack on the block with a truth's at. A true fact, you'll get your chin and your ribs cracked and have to pay a tax on the street where you rest at. So avoid contact and be ready for combat. Peace to the hood rats and the chicks with their own snap. That's just another day in the city of clap. Going down.
Yeah, it's Mr. Mister, the one that turned out your little sister. But we gonna keep this shit rolling. Check this out. Ha ha.
Hey yo, where I'm at, sun-dried city and clap with both hands gripping the naps. In the streets black, we do that. You get roll black, we make you feel that. Yo, where it's at? Tucked hanging from the waist black. So if you wanna dance with the demon, I'm in the land breathing with the fallen heathens. A cold look like treason, it's open season. They be fleeing from where I sat in the street. We black fire the heat, eat your lunch meat. You make your stuff your dungarees, have your bitch hunt to both knees. Now where I'm at, just smoking the fire trees, sipping St. IDE. So keep your movement at ease, or get stuck by the concrete with both feet. 24/7 a week, up in the Clap City streets. It's like banging with heat, banging defeat, rearranging your speech. Cheese rain complete, sore thumb, ENT. That's where it's at on these fucking streets.
Yeah, both hands, nigga. Where it's at? Got that burner, they ain't playing, nigga. Where it's at? Money, car, hopping hoes, nigga. Where it's at? Everybody wanna do like that. It's in the kingdom of the clap. Both hands, nigga. Where it's at? Got that burner, they ain't playing, nigga. Where it's at? Money, car, hopping hoes, nigga. Where it's at? Everybody wanna do like that. It's in the kingdom called clap.
Yeah, Clap City. Yo, we run our residence. Yeah, black team. Yeah, yo, Flex the Great. And that nigga, Mr.
Ghost Lagoon.
07 shit, West Coast. You niggas fumbled the ball, now we got that shit back. We on the offense, nigga. Yeah.
Booties in the tribe.
All right, and we back. First of all, it's been a fun day talking with you guys today. I'm kind of in good spirits. Why? No particular reason. Nothing miraculous happened. It's the same shit show. Just some days I'm up, some days I'm down. But another thing I wanted to bring to the table is, when you sent me down the rabbit hole of the old Goonies and the Tribe catalog.
Yeah,
I started listening to a couple of the songs you were playing. Like I said, I have the hard drive. I need to get a computer to upload it and listen to it. But Yayo, the old boy Yayo, Black UDA, his songs start coming up. I remember on the last podcast we were speaking on how what brought the Goonies and the Tribe together. Like I said, originally it was the Goon Squad, which was Fats and Yayo, and the Black Tribe, which is me and you. Yeah. And they were punchline savvy, and they still are. I know Fats. I heard some shit from him recently. He still got it. I'm quite sure Ye still got it. And they were punchline savvy, but Fats was more aggressive. Like, Fats come with that like gangbang kind of aggression to it.
And he slowed his flow down a little bit of it. Yeah. But he still got it. Your ass though. Let me tell no. Fuck that. My brother, I love you, brother. We'll get him. Your ass, nigga. Your ass. First of all, he always dope. Yayo's a dope writer. Nobody in our clique has any disagreements with that. He's definitely a dope writer. But that, what did you call him, Plex? You said he was what was that?
I said you the KD of the group.
Yeah.
You remember KD, right?
Yeah. That's my... Yeah. Been every day running through LA. I used to like this nigga's fun. And the beat be hard as fuck. I'm like, he's making me angry. I used to be in the booth with that nigga like, he make me angry. Nigga, if you don't get aggressive.
I like KD.
I love KD. He's shit. I love Black Kings. He the shit. But I'm just saying, this motherfucker, we would go in on, so like, you let me hear a song that I forgot about. What is your mic check or whatever it is?
Oh, yeah.
The verse later. And it was like you was in there, the bipolar, whatever. You was Plex is all aggressive. This nigga, I do. Dude, so I'm about to shoulder the fuck out of this nigga. All that pretty boy shit. And then like this the only nigga too of our age in our group, of our peers, with children, and without a dad body. You gonna cut that shit out too. Nigga, if you don't eat a goddamn bowl of spaghetti around this motherfucker, slow your metabolism down or something.
I'm representing for all the fat niggas around the world.
Motherfucker, this nigga slim, still slim. This nigga look like he's 17. I seen a recent picture of this motherfucker Yo on Facebook. And the nigga looked like he's 17. I said, I'm gonna kick this nigga ass when I see him.
That shit ain't cool.
That shit had me how he's motherfucker. Not only is the nigga whispering R&B melodious melodies to us through the mic, you know what I'm saying? But the nigga got the nerve to still be in the size, 36, 34, man. Ain't that about a bitch? You know what I'm saying? I walk around this motherfucker in whole 40s. You know what I'm saying?
48s.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Yeah,
because I still wear the same size from high school. I can't help it.
Yeah, my nigga.
I still wear the same size in high school. It was still 48.
Yeah. Well, I went up, but I bulked up. Y'all remember I swole up for a minute. I was doing my little.
Yeah, you still the praying mantis though.
Yeah. I don't. That's not gonna change. Yeah.
I hit the gym on my Nelly and LL Cool J shit, and then I gained like 5 pounds, nigga, and it was like, all right, look.
Well, I'm gonna
hear the crickets, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go on and get me some motherfucking hot wings then. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
I just came back from eating shakies.
I'm in here trying to break my damn shoulder, nigga.
Yeah.
I'm here shoulder pains and shit. Ain't gained no weight.
Yeah, this nigga. The song could be about. Remember we had we never recorded it, but we had wrote that song 80 hoes in the trunk about like
I remember that.
Shot a vehicle with the 80 hoes in the back of the trunk, so it was a play on 80 hoes in the trunk and 80 hoes in the trunk, you know what I'm saying? And
what's the name?
That was aggressive as fuck.
Yeah.
Mic check. I just sound I mean it's just
I'm talking about your. Yeah, don't piss me off right now, motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the cadence, the aggressive. The wordplay always measure. We could be talking about killing shit, and this nigga talk about don't make me get the knot. Like on some shit. I mean, it's all good, but I'll be like,
hey, no,
this. Now, what made me say it is this nigga get angry in real life, but on the mic. He gets the whispering sweet son straight R&B. Straight R&B.
I was in the studio.
Straight R&B.
With Peanut one time.
You said you what?
I was in the studio with Peanut one time. Last time I was in the studio with them niggas. And one of the songs, he was saying the same shit. He was like, nigga, why don't you rap like nigga you was arguing with Spokes that day? Nigga, like, you spitting on the mic and shit. I tried it and it sounds funny. I can't rap.
Well, you gotta stay inside what works. You know what I'm saying? You gotta stay in and everybody can't be. What
happened was I think I have to pace my breath for something like that because I'm exerting a lot of energy, like rapping loud, and then to me I sound stupid rapping in a deep voice.
I turn into DMX.
That's the reason why I do that. I feel like I sound retarded when I rap. And the way I talk, I can't rap like that.
I turn into DMX.
I appreciate, you do. You come in with the rough onyxy, that's your shit. One thing I will say that I do, the only thing, if anything, besides being a fairly decent with the pen.
The ladies like the laid back flow.
Yeah, they do. Fuck you and them ladies. How about that? Fuck you and them ladies. How about that? My shit is, one thing I'm proud of with my lyrical ability is we all have seen, I can rap different. Y'all notice that with our cat, like I come different every time. That's one of the best attributes that, besides being a decent lyricist, that I have with it. And I guess sometimes I was like, I want the niggas to get on that shit too. Like, Plex, you can do it because you did it on the thought. You're still very aggressive. It's still wiggity wow, like Bears you say. You know what I'm saying? But you can do it. But for the most part, it's going to get, you know what I'm saying, count in your face. It's still going to be angry. It's still going to be that.
I can't. At some points, I can't help it because it's just the way that my vocal cords are. It start to curl.
And then the shit you be saying, you can't say that in a timid voice.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the hybrid assassin.
Everything is like that song we did, The Weekend Spree with Black Gay. We talk about guns. That nigga is on a weekend spree. Okay, we just killed somebody. The weekend spree. Nigga, it's about to be a drive-by. The weekend spree. Oh no, okay, Black Gay. Look, we talk about murder. Weekend spree. Nigga, that's what you gonna get. That's what it is. But I mean, you are lyricists. I appreciate all my brothers and the Goonies in the tribe. We all dope in our own rights. We all bring what we bring to the table.
It's dope.
That's what makes us dope.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
you know, styles, and we all fit on one song together.
Yeah, you know, and I mean that's what it is. We Sanford and Sons, yo. This is all kind of shit back. That's all kind of shit back there. You know what I'm saying? It's just all kind of shit back there.
Yeah, hey, that should be the album cover.
Yeah.
Because it's just shit everywhere.
The new project we about to do, me and Plex, we was talking about this new project we get on. Because we don't want to really change our name. We want to keep Goonies in the Tribe. I was like, the next project will be the old heads because we older now. We still out there doing it. We still gonna be out there doing it. So fuck it. But you know, either way it go.
Me was talking about doing some shit.
Y'all need to. We need to have a Goon Squad album and a Black Tribe album and then bring it back together. We need to do it. Why not? Niggas been bullshitting for too long, bro. Ultimately, the point is, I appreciate all my brothers. I love y'all. Y'all dope. I appreciate this experience through life and hip hop with y'all because it's big. We brothers, you know what I'm saying? We've been through more than just doing music. We didn't meet each other just through the medium of music. We've been through life together. And secondly,
I came in late with the music.
Yeah, and then secondly,
I came late.
Yeah, secondly, Yayo, fuck you just because fuck you. It is just because it's
I can't stand you.
I can't stand you, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Darkness is.
Okay, so this is a part of the program that we roll over until we get, we have fun. But we're going to roll over into a more somber note, polarizing subjects. We bring it in with usually a polarizing topic, and we end it out with a polarizing topic with a little segment I call the poverty perspective. Okay, so today, everybody in your ear, let's take a trip upon imagination. Okay, let's imagine that the police were just, as their job title suggests, officers of the law. What state would the relationship between the public and authority be? Okay, a cop in New York punched a 17-year-old man in the head because he thought he had a joint, but it was a cigarette, even though that's still illegal to be smoking anything at that age. I'm not sure it warrants getting knocked out by a grown-ass man. And he slapped the young man. He knocked him out, and in true tyrannous pig fashion, grabbed him, trying to flip him over and cuff him, even though you fucking out. They will kill you and still try to fucking cuff you. Savage, trifling bastards. Let's imagine that this wasn't the case. Now, in this case, in this particular instance, both the people were black. It was a black cop, a big old burly built motherfucker, a regular youngster. It goes to show again that once you put that uniform on, you transform into one of them. You're not even human anymore. You're not even human. You transform into one of them, and whatever you say, no matter how disrespectful or uncalled for, no matter what you do, however trifling and savage, it almost always flies with no repercussion. Of course, there's cops who, been incarcerated for misconduct on the job, but how often is that compared to the times when it doesn't happen? Okay, the term "fuck the police" is offensive to anybody who hasn't been treated as less than a human being at the hands of the law. All else, we just say fuck them. And yes, we know that all cops are not bad and abusive in respects of to their authority. But if you are a silent witness to injustice, then how are you any different? Okay. When the police try to solve crimes, they ask people to come forth with a statement, and the people in the near community or in the immediate community, or or if you're involved in the crime, they might ask you to come forth and turn right, or snitch. You know what I mean? But when it comes to their bullshit, now it's this wall of silence. Oh, no. You need to cooperate with us. Why don't you come forth and tell us and help us solve this crime? Or why don't you tell us who else was involved in this? We know you're not the mastermind. You know, we can help you. Give us time. You want us to snitch, or you want the public to come forth with a statement that now it's time to, let's put on this blue wall of silence. Let's shut the fuck up. Don't you dare tell on another cop. Oh, don't do that. Oh, no, we can't have that kind of transparency with our law enforcement. That's too much to ask. Okay? Imagine a police officer coming to work with true intent to protect and serve, as that job title suggests. No matter what creed or color of the person's skin, just coming to protect and serve. That's what it says on the side of that fucking black and white slave ship in most states that you motherfuckers drive. It says to protect and serve. Or it says servicing whatever community you're servicing. That's what it says. Imagine that shit. Imagine America really functioning as land of the free and home of the brave. Okay? Riddle me this. What's brave about a 200-pound grown man body slamming a 115-pound teenage girl? What's brave about the many ganging up on the few and beating the shit out of them? What's brave about pulling a gun out on a pregnant, unarmed woman while she holds her child? What's brave about this? Be proud of our country. That's fair enough. But be realistic about the climate we are existing in today. It's ever changing, and seldom is it changing for the better when it comes to our social circumstance. To most of us, we are on the outside of the house looking into the window at what we say the American dream is, and we are impatiently waiting on our turn to experience that reality.
Yeah,
that's the truth. A lot of people don't want to admit it. We call ourselves the greatest country, and in many respects we are. We're the freest country, in many respects we are. But these social parasitic things eat at our society, and it's always some either white or some person of color that sits more to a Republican stance or a more corporate stance. You want to sit at the table, so you're willing to allow these biases to go unchecked, and your attitude about that is, or towards that is, well, quit complaining. Kaepernick, quit complaining. Okay, anybody else, don't complain. You're in the greatest country. You people have come to, we giving you this. We give you, motherfucker, it ain't about you giving me shit. This is what I am entitled to as a human being per the Constitution of the United States of America. Okay. We constantly use our bias to allow horrific tyrannies to lie on another person, and then when it falls on our doorstep, now everybody be concerned. Why? Because it happened to me. Because it happened to me now. It just happened to that person up the street. You didn't give a fuck. Those darkies need to comply. Well, black people are always doing this, or black people are always doing that. We have a plethora of black people who are successful, and even if they are rich, they are not in trouble. There's a plethora. Despite popular belief, there's a plethora of black people who don't even have a single fucking felony on their record. Yeah. This exists. This exists in our country. We act like it don't, but it does. Imagine that changing what truly is the various racial epithets or the hateful epithets in America. Changing that. Imagine that changing that would make this a better place. Imagine that. Imagine passing the baton to the future, that baton isn't riddled with all kind of virus and disease and hate and possible problems to reverse. Imagine passing the baton without climate change attached to it. Okay? Imagine passing the baton that doesn't have irreversible debt deficit attached to it. Imagine following suit with these millennials and more people saying, I don't care if he black, I don't care if he white, I don't care if he brown, yellow, whatever. I don't give a fuck if he green. He's a person. I have to take my hats off to the millennials. I see that practice with them more than I've seen in prior years. I have to take my hat off to the millennial. I see success. I see them cutting out the middleman and going direct to consumer and becoming millionaires and successful. I have to take my hat off to the millennials. I see them loving. I see them loving each other. I see them potentially changing society, not just America, all across the world. I see them changing society for a better place. What's going to hinder them is us Generation Xers, and I don't even know if there's any more of them motherfuckers still alive today, the baby boomers. We're going to hinder their progress. And from what I understand, the new generation, my wonderful 3-year-old son, the juggernaut, is considered something called Generation Z. So I guess the millennials' time span is passed out. Whatever it is, we have to do our part to pass that baton as cleanly as possible with as less weight on it as possible. Or what are we doing? If we're going to just pass on the post-apocalyptic wasteland to them, just be brave about it. If you're a cop and you hate blacks, don't lie and say, no, I didn't do that. Don't cut your body cam off. Kill the nigga. Be who you are. The mother of my children told me that. Tell the truth or it can't work. Be who you are. And it took his baby steps or whatever, but I said, you know what, I'm just this raggedy motherfucker, and I don't like a lot of shit about you. It hurts. That mirror reflection fucking hurts, no matter who it is. Why don't we try it on a greater scale? Fuck what's going on in my personal life and Brother Lex's personal life and Brother Black Ye and Brother Fats, whoever it is. Fuck your personal life. Let's change the reflection in the mirror on a grand scale to where it affects the world. Imagine that. John Lennon imagined that. I know it's hard to do, but if we don't want to do it, let's just be honest and say, fuck that. America, we're going to say we're the greatest, but underneath the skin, underneath this beautiful cosmetic job we done, we ain't shit. We're proud to be ain't shit, and fuck everybody else. Let's just say it. But that's too much like doing it right, and that's too much to ask for. We got a lot of challenges ahead of us. Let's pass on a better place to our children or not. Okay, the perspective is poverty, and yeah, this has been another one. Brother Plex, Brother Yayo, thank you for finally getting your black ass upon board and joining us.
No problem. It was the shit. It was the shit. The Matrix had me on lockdown.
It's all good. I don't want our conversation to make any of the big bone sisters out there start wearing the heels. You know they're the little 1/4-inch flat heels, but you gotta throw them on anyway. You know, do what they do. You know what I'm saying? And the skinny women, don't inject your ass with no shots. You know, stay how you are. Yeah. And women are beautiful. Just like men, polish up what's on the inside, because I got to take that advice from myself before me and Apex get one of them, and now Yayo as well get one of them delectable comments. I need to polish my shit up too, and yeah, brothers, I appreciate it. It's pretty good. What y'all think?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a man of few words sometimes.
Yeah. You know, I'm a man of few words when I'm angry in certain situations. I'm a man of few words when I'm around strangers. But on this podcast, we can't be men of few words. That's the fuck we're doing it for. You know, otherwise it'll be an podcast of all crickets and silence. But brothers and sisters of the world, creatures of earth, this has been another one. Brother Plex, give us free.
It's the ODDKAST, bitch.
Yo, it's the ugly. I'm about to break it. Man, fuck that. Check it out. Power and momentum. Vocal bullets bring the holes to your building. Same time, feed the souls of your children. Closed minds get exposed to the vision. Same time, double-edged sword to the throat of the serpent and kingdom. Kinda hard not to walk in the blues. Hard to walk the avenues where they ain't got no shoes. So we change the mental.